Yeah.
Recording in progress, Agi.
Yeah, thank you, Neeraj. It's a pleasure to be with you on this platform. For the benefit of the viewers, Neeraj Sharma is a development consultant. He has worked with so many companies, including ICICI and government organizations as well as in UNO also. He has been to various countries as a development consultant. So today, this particular session is for the benefit of all those who are interested to know how exactly is the Afghan society. And of course, we are going to have multiple sessions on that. So Neeraj, tell me first thing about why did you go there? On whose behalf you worked in Afghanistan? What was your impression about their bureaucracy, government, the public, the society, the family system which they have got? You know, a lot of people, they are keen to know about Afghanistan as such. So we want people to get, benefited from your experience. Yeah, please.
So tell me where to start. One by one, I'll answer all the questions, sir.
Yeah, when were you there? With whom you interacted? You know, all those people. Make it a story.
See, as an agricultural economist,
Yeah.
I started working as an independent consultant some years back after I resigned from ICICI Bank and Royal Bank of Scotland. And an assignment of Asian Development Bank on value chain financing took me to Afghanistan. And my primary assignment was to set up a monitoring and evaluation cell for Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Afghanistan, to monitor 181 agricultural projects which were going on there with the help of different fundings from different countries.
Okay.
So I set up an evaluation and monitoring cell for these projects, trained government officials of Ministry of Agriculture in Kabul and nearby areas. This project which was running was basically known as Enhancing Agri-Value Chain for Livelihoods, EAVS, EVES.
Okay.
And this project was running in 3 districts of Afghanistan.
Okay.
Bamiyan, Pagman, and Kabul.
Great.
So, and it had an outreach of over 15,000 farmers spread over these 3 districts. Okay. So that is how I went there and stayed there. While I got this assignment, everybody was apprehensive as to should I go to Afghanistan or should I not go to Afghanistan.
Okay.
But given this opportunity as a development consultant, I thought it would be prudent to go there and see for myself as to how the situation is.
Okay, great.
So I went there, understood the project, interacted with the officials, farmers, and the local people of Kabul who were in my ambit.
Okay, and so where exactly did you stay there? You were in Kabul and then you went all around.
Yes, I was stationed at Kabul, and given the security situation, things were a little difficult in the beginning because we had to live in a nearly fortified residence, which was part of a hotel, and that hotel was considered to be one of the safest hotels in Kabul at that time.
Okay.
Because half of the portion of that hotel was taken up by the UN ops, and half was for the general public. And of the 15-20 residents only who were there as long-term residents of that hotel, 7 of them were Indians working in various projects and various departments of the government, and rest of them were either Europeans or Americans on visit. So that is in brief.
Okay, and that was around 7 years back, if I understood you correctly.
That was around 7 years back, yes.
Okay,
situation has only worsened. It has not improved.
Okay, fine. Tell me one thing. What is your impression of the Afghan government? You interacted with the government officials. Were they as competent as the Indian one, or the better one, or at par? What do you say?
As far as comparison is concerned, it will be difficult to compare because the situation in Afghanistan is very much different culturally, economically, and socially from the economic, cultural, and social condition in India. We have a different development path which we took than Afghanistan, though both were ruled by British for some time, but India is entirely different because after independence, we took a very different path for development than Afghanistan. Afghanistan changed from a liberal society to a very orthodox and a religious centered society. Unlike India, which has prospered more or less as a development or a welfare state with different shades of ideologies coexisting. It is not so in Afghanistan, but Afghanistan, which I visited, was entirely different from the one which was there 20 years back or 25 years back when Taliban was at the center. So after 2001, when there was a democratic government which was set up with the help of various countries, NATO, America, and all those Western countries, the government was a progressive government and they had a very positive outlook towards future and development of their country. They looked forward for collaboration, they looked forward for development initiatives, sought help from other countries, developed their own things within the country. So interaction with the government officials, including ministers, was very fruitful and I found them very positive in approach. I did not find...
Okay, that's fine. Tell me, did you get a chance to interact with the Afghan Army officials? And
not directly. I did not have a chance to interact with the Afghan Army officials, but yes, I did interact with their police chief of Kabul and other security related officials because during social gatherings, we usually got chance to interact with these officials. Otherwise, during day-to-day working, we did not have a direct connection except for the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Rahimi at that time, and other officials and other ministers of other departments who were very progressive and forward-looking. But I didn't have a direct interaction with the army officials.
Okay, fine. Tell me, what was the impression of India? Because it's surprisingly the path which we have taken and the Afghans have taken are altogether different, and somehow it has so happened that we have never been friendly with Pakistan and we have always been friendly with Afghanistan. What exactly do you feel about it? Why it is so?
Afghanistan basically is or was a developing country which was pushed back into poverty and helplessness because of the ongoing war and the inter-group. Afghan society is a very different society compared to India. Afghan society is centered around what we call as the tribes. So there are different tribes of different denominations which govern different areas of Afghanistan. And in last 30, 40 years, there has been an inter-tribal war, so to say, but generally driven by the warlords who have now gathered together as Taliban, and they are backed by a common neighbor, Pakistan.
What is the impression about Pakistan in Afghan society, in villages, common person, how they perceive Pakistan?
See, while interacting with the officials as well as the common person in Kabul and outside Kabul with farmers, with their tribal chiefs, the impression which I got was they had a very soft corner for India. And this soft corner was for various reasons, which I'll elaborate. But they did not have a very friendly view towards Pakistan or their members. People from Pakistan hold different positions also in Afghanistan. It's not that, but generally the Afghan people are more friendly towards or friendlier towards the Indians than any other country. And they had a similar kind of a dislike for Westerners, Americans, and the NATO officials also.
Okay.
Because they thought that they were the people who had brought misery to their country, including their neighbor Pakistan. And it was meddling in their affairs unnecessarily, especially in the eastern part of Afghanistan bordering Pakistan.
Okay.
Jalalabad and all those areas were heavily influenced by them. The tribal areas in the northwest again were infested with the terrorists or insurgents because of the difficult terrain and difficult weather also.
Okay, in your normal functioning, you had a chance to go to the villages. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
And did their tribal affiliation affected your working? Means Pashtun were interacting with you on a different platform, or Tajiks were interacting with you on a different frequency? Was there a difference in their conduct, or it was basically governed by government rules and regulations?
Generally, it was governed by rules and regulations in the areas where I visited. But see, the dynamics of the Afghan society is very difficult to understand. There are some tribes which do not gel with Tajiks. There are Tajiks who do not gel with the Pashtuns, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Because of their cultural or historical reasons, whatever we say, it's the dynamics of their society, which we need not dwell into. It is for them to take care of that. But generally, both of them or all of the tribes look towards development for one simple reason.
Okay.
See, they want development, they want prosperity. Who doesn't want prosperity? And the only way to become prosperous was to get educated, to have some new skills, get infusion of capital so that they can develop, because they are poor.
Okay.
If we generally understand why, see, another reason besides the religious or cultural reason of there being meat eating is that except for dry fruits and other crops, they don't have grains to that extent.
Okay.
Only few pulses and few grains grow there.
Absolutely.
Few pulses like masoor, which we call black lentils, some green lentils, corn. Most of the food in Afghanistan is imported. Even the meat is imported in Afghanistan. They don't have even animals. They don't have animals because there are no grasslands to graze. They don't have grass to feed to animals.
Okay. Okay.
Situation is very difficult. And wherever they are able to grow, see, most of the Afghanistan is under snow for most of the time. The kind of deserts and all those, what we see is the area around Kandahar, Herat in the southwest.
Okay.
Northwest and north is generally covered by ice most of the time, snow.
Okay. So what is the, you must have interacted with family members of some of the officials you were interacting with. What is the general aspiration level of the people? Do they want to, become doctor, engineer, or they want to go abroad, something like that?
General impression which I got after interacting with the officials in the ministry where I was working and the project staff was nobody wanted war, and nobody wanted war or unrest in the country for simple reason that after 2001, when the democratic government took over, people had seen nearly a decade and a half of peace. Relatively calmer areas in and around Kabul with less disturbance, less number of clashes. Their children who were small, who may have been small in 2001, had grown up and had come to the level of going to the university. So some new universities were being set up. Afghanistan government wanted Indians to set up private universities there so that their kids could learn. They wanted collaboration in education. And when I asked, what is the aspiration? Most of them said they do not want war because their children have seen peace and they should live in peace. They have got a chance to read, learn, and now there is a chance to earn also if they are able to get good qualifications.
Okay.
So, and my office was adjacent to the Kabul University. So I had a couple of instances where I had interactions with the teachers of Kabul University also and with the kids. Okay. Everybody wanted to read, get good qualifications, become a doctor, become an engineer, go to the West, get higher degrees. And some of them wanted to settle in the West. They wanted to leave their country because of the disturbances they had seen as kids. They didn't want to continue. But majority, 95% of the people wanted to do something for their country and make it more prosperous. And they generally said they want help from India to develop and grow.
Okay, okay. And what are the normal bonding with India? Means education sector, health sector, entertainment industry. What all they share with us actually?
See, actually, media in India has not highlighted the kind of help which India and Indians have given to Afghanistan.
Okay.
And at times there have been instances that Indians have been captured and killed also because they were engaged in development activities in Afghanistan and they have been killed by the insurgents.
Okay.
Border Road Organization, National Highway Authority, other public sector organizations have been building roads, have been building dams, have been building bridges. Mm-hmm. Even the new parliament was built by India as a gift to the Afghan people.
Yeah, that's really wonderful.
This has not been highlighted in Indian media at all. Our engineers who were building roads and bridges have been captured. They have been killed also at times.
Okay.
As far as medical sector is concerned, India has generated tremendous goodwill in Afghanistan as far as the medical help is concerned to their population. Our Indian doctors are manning their hospitals.
Okay.
They have good connects with Indian hospitals, hospital chains also, like Fortis, Apollo, Medanta. They have their field offices.
Okay.
And when I went and during the journeys which I had with them, to and fro from Delhi to Kabul, the plane load, let us say if there are 150 passengers, 100 or 110 of them were either coming or going to Kabul for medical purposes only, for operations, from diagnosis, for hospitalization. So India is the first destination for Afghans as far as medical aid is concerned.
Okay.
And that has generated a lot of goodwill. And even India has provided scholarships to Afghan nationals. There are 1,000 scholarships for higher studies in India, which are seen as one stepping stone to development. They look forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I'm very sure military training in military establishments of India is also taking place for Afghan cadets. So that really creates a good impression, good goodwill for the Indians. Now, tell me one simple thing. This thing is affordable or available to the rural Afghan society, or only the government officials are able to send their children to India for education purpose, or are the rich only people, they are able to afford the treatment part in India?
That is a very difficult question, so to say.
Okay.
It's the same way as it happens in India.
Okay.
Rich do get benefits, no doubt.
Okay.
They are privileged lot, so they are able to do it easily as compared to the rural people or people who are underprivileged. But the students who study well and get good marks, irrespective of their background, they generally are able to seek better education or higher education or avail of these facilities. It is not that only government officials corner it or the rich corner it.
Rich people, they are cornering it. Okay.
Yes, underprivileged people or poorer people, they have lesser chances, no doubt, compared to the rich, but generally it is evenly spread.
Okay. And tell me, do people see Indian movies there? Is Bollywood really popular there?
Bollywood has been popular there since the time Bollywood came into existence.
Okay.
And when I was there, there was one theater which was exclusively playing Bollywood movies only.
And which was that
Nothing
movie?
else. Yes.
Okay.
So, and there was this Chennai to Kabul or something of that sort, John Abraham's movie.
Okay, okay, okay.
That was quite popular. Even the streets, they have these push cards, जो ठेले बोलते हैं ना हम, जैसे चांदनी चौक में ठेले दिख जाएंगे तो ठेलों पे हिंदी के कैसेट्स आपको मिलेंगे.
My God. Okay.
So that way, there is a lot of goodwill for Indians in the Afghan hearts. No doubt about it. Majority of them, they love India and Indians.
Okay.
And they look highly towards it.
Okay. And what about cricket? There are so many cricket players from Afghanistan. They play in the Indian Cricket League, IPL.
Yes, cricket was developing at that time when I was there. It was not that popular.
Okay.
They are more interested in football. That is what I saw around my places. So popular game was football rather than cricket. Because resources needed to play football are much lesser than resources needed for cricket.
Yeah, must be. Okay, tell me one thing. Lot many people, they talk that, you know, in the society, and that, of course, sometimes it applies to the Pakistani, especially the tribal society of Pakistan, that people do carry weapons in their families, you know, that AK-47 or Kalashnikov, that culture.
I did see a couple of AK-47s, but generally they were those matchlock kind of rifles.
Okay.
303s or something of the some variant of that. That is
okay.
That is just similar like the what we call as Bhind Morena area. If you go, everybody carries a gun there.
Okay.
So it's just the same. It's no different. And I didn't feel out of place because I was used to seeing these people from Jhansi, Bhind, Morena carrying guns. So that is just normal. Double barrel gun or single barrel or even triple barrel guns were there.
Okay, so because generally people have got impression that they have got AK-47 and all that.
No. That is a wrong impression.
Okay.
It's only some wall rod or some privileged lot who may have got access to it, but carrying guns is generally not a regular feature there.
Okay.
In rural areas, we do come across people carrying guns, especially the tribals and tribal chiefs. But normal population in Afghanistan is as good as any population in any city of India, like small city. Not big cities, but urban cities, जिनको हम कस्बा बोलते हैं ना, कस्बे जैसे हैं वहाँ पे सब इंडिया के. And there are places in Kabul, if one is left blindfolded there, और आँख से पट्टी खोलेगा तो उसे लगेगा चांदनी चौक की किसी गली में खड़ा हुआ है. There's no difference at all.
Okay, and how is are the Indian businesses they are operating there? Means private companies and all that?
Not many businesses are operating. Only few businesses are operating, and generally these are the exporters or importers of dry fruits.
Okay, and you see a lot of Indian goods there in the market?
Indian goods form nearly 40% or 50% of the store shelves.
Okay.
Most of these goods come from Pakistan because Pakistan has been playing a dominant role in their market. So Pakistani goods are available, but Afghans generally, what I saw and interacted with, or with whom I interacted, they preferred Indian goods or goods from France, Belgium, and other European countries.
Okay. That's really a wonderful insight. And tell me any other impression about Afghanistan which you would like to share with the viewers. Anything in particular, especially now the conflict is out and virtually it is a civil war there. So what generally impression you get about the people, how you can forecast, what prediction you can make about the Afghan society?
The peace-living people don't have the means to resist the Taliban or the insurgents, whoever they are.
Okay.
And they want to live a peaceful life away from the conflict and all this going around because they want peace. They don't want to get involved in the day-to-day conflicts which have been happening, and this is a handful of people which is creating trouble there.
Okay.
Because they are able to get arms, because they are able to get money, that is why they are able to dominate. But generally, as we saw yesterday or the day before, thousands of Afghanis have started joining the army, their army now, national army, because they want peace. They don't want their country to be in conflict mode for decades together, which it has been. Basically, Afghanistan has become a pawn between the superpowers.
Yes.
They are trying to exercise control, be it the communist bloc, be it the capitalist bloc, be it whichever bloc you say. Everybody wants to have a pie of that country, even China, because parts of Afghanistan are rich in minerals, rich in precious stones, and other ground-based wealth, which everybody wants to have at a cheaper price and profit from it, leaving those Afghans high and dry.
Okay, thank you, Neeraj. It's a wonderful insight about Afghanistan society and bureaucracy. Tell me, in the next session, what we can discuss about Afghanistan?
Whatever you feel like. We can discuss their agriculture, we can discuss their conflicts, or any other pertinent problem which your viewers feel is important for them to understand.
Okay, so we will discuss about the conflict, Afghan conflict, and we will relate it with your experience during your stay there in Afghanistan. You almost stayed for 1 year there. So thank you so much for today's interaction. It is a wonderful insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.